FBI! FBI! Give it up!
Just before 3 a.m., a man rushes inside as a SWAT team rolls up. Their armored vehicle's tactical battering ram busting open the door and breaking the early morning silence.
Okay, so the FBI just raided Whoopi Goldberg's mansion, and the details are wild. Let's break it down because this is where things get crazy. It was super late, and the whole neighborhood was asleep when it all popped off. Out of nowhere, the quiet street lit up with headlights, and tires screeched as black SUVs rolled in, lining the road in front of Whoopi's massive mansion. Agents in full gear jumped out like a movie scene. Some spread out around the property, while others made their way to the front. Okay, so picture this. The doorbell rings, and Whoopi answers. But get this, she's totally calm. No shock, no panic. The agent at the door flashes his badge. We have a search warrant. This is a federal investigation. You'd think she'd freak out, right? Nope. Her expression shifts a little, like she kinda expected it, but didn't know exactly what they were after. It's almost like she had a feeling, but couldn't believe it got to this point. That calm vibe, it didn't last long. The agents stormed through the house, flipping cushions, yanking open drawers, even checking behind paintings. Whoopi just stood there, arms folded, quietly watching the chaos. She wasn't saying much, but you could tell her mind was racing. Then came the basement. That's when things got really wild. One agent noticed something weird about a bookshelf. It looked normal, but when they pushed on it, a hidden panel slid open. After a bit of work, they slid the whole thing aside, and boom, there was this faint outline of a hidden door. If you've ever seen an FBI raid, you know this is exactly the kind of thing they're after. One agent called the lead officer immediately. Whatever they found behind that door was a big deal because they wouldn't even open it on the spot. Then they pulled out a box. Whoopi, still quiet, finally spoke. I've never seen that before. But come on, a secret compartment behind a bookshelf in your own basement? Either she was totally clueless, or she was really trying to play it cool.
I would be surprised if at the end of the day we learned this was simply an effort by the FBI to retrieve records. There probably is something much more significant there.
Whoopi wasted no time clapping back after the FBI raid. Just a few days later, she addressed the controversy head-on during The View. I know what you've heard, but I have nothing to hide, she told viewers, claiming the whole raid was a mistake. According to Whoopi, the safe and everything inside, not hers. In fact, she hinted that someone might have planted it there to set her up. Her lawyer released a statement too, saying Whoopi had fully cooperated with the authorities and expected to be cleared. But let's be real. Just saying you're innocent doesn't mean much when there's a literal box of evidence tying you to some shady people. The FBI hasn't said much yet, but insiders claim they're treating this as part of a much bigger investigation. Whoopi might have tried to shut the rumors down, but this story is only getting started. What do you guys think? Innocent or nah? Drop your thoughts below.
She's also been keeping a low profile today after federal agents were inside her house.
All right, so this is where things take a seriously dark turn. The feds grabbed that metal box from Whoopi's basement, and as soon as they got it to the lab, the leak started flying. And let me tell you, what they found was insane. Inside the box, a stash of photos, but not just any photos. We're talking about private pictures of major celebrities and politicians in super compromising situations. And if that wasn't enough, there were also documents, paper trails leading to offshore bank accounts and sketchy financial deals. Some of these accounts were linked to organizations already flagged for shady activity, and a few of those transactions, direct ties to underground networks. But here's the wild part. The feds also found a separate book filled with names, big names, And some of the connections in there were so shocking that they immediately set off alarm bells. And then the really dark whispers started about a human trafficking ring with connections to Hollywood. Turns out, a couple of those flagged organizations had been investigated for this kind of thing before. So naturally, people started asking the question, why did Whoopi have all this stuff in her house? You don't just randomly end up with secret documents, a list of elite names, and financial records tied to illegal networks.
I'm getting off today because I just feel like, it's so messy. And I'm tired of now having had certain kinds of attitudes blocked, and now they're back on. And I'm gonna get out, and if it settles down and I feel more comfortable, maybe I'll come back. But as of tonight.
After Whoopi's statement on The View, you'd think things might calm down, right? Nope. The investigation only got crazier. The FBI kept digging, and what they found made it clear this wasn't just about Whoopi, it was way bigger. Leaks started flying, and the names that came up, insane. Jeffrey Epstein and Sean Diddy Combs, these guys were already known for shady dealings, but now their names were popping up in Whoopi's financial records. That raised some serious eyebrows. And it didn't stop there. Investigators uncovered offshore accounts linked to major political players, senators, lobbyists, even ex-White House officials. Like, why would Whoopi have connections to Washington power players? Then came the real bombshell. Some insiders claimed Whoopi might have been funding these shady activities without even knowing. Huge amounts of money were allegedly funneled through shell companies tied to Whoopi's businesses, eventually landing in organizations known for money laundering. Of course, her legal team insisted she had no clue, saying her financial managers handled everything. But seriously, how do you not know millions of dollars are flowing through offshore accounts tied to sketchy groups? The plot thickened when one of Whoopi's closest business partners got arrested. Turns out, the FBI suspected this person of running a human trafficking ring. And yep, some of those accounts were connected to Whoopi's financial records. Now, maybe Whoopi was clueless and just trusted the wrong people. But with her name popping up on those documents, yeah, that's not the kind of thing you just ignore.
Came very, very close to leaving the earth. Good news, I didn't.
Whoopi didn't show up alone. Her lawyers were right by her side, coaching her every step of the way. Their advice? Keep quiet. No statements, no explanations. Just stick to the usual lines and don't say anything that could come back to haunt her. But let's be real. The fact that the FBI even wanted to question her, that speaks volumes. They clearly believed she was hiding something. And the media? Oh, they weren't holding back. Headlines exploded with accusations, some outlets outright claiming Whoopi was involved in the entire operation. The burning question remained, did Whoopi know the truth? If her business partner was running this illegal ring and using her money to fund it, that's not exactly something you overlook. The investigation is far from over, and you can bet more shocking details will surface. With other high-profile names already tied to this mess, things are only going to get messier. What do you guys think? Was Whoopi in on it, or just caught in the crossfire? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates.